Hi, my name is Ellis Dawson. I am one of the Genie standbys and the only Babcock standby in the Broadway National Tour of Aladdin. Being a standby is literally I'm on standby. What I do is I arrive to the theater at the same time as the other actors. Sometimes I find out beforehand, and sometimes during the show, I might have to go on for the Genie or for Babcock. So I rehearse in the wings, I rehearse backstage, I go over the show, I have understudy brush-up rehearsals. Sometimes I have time to myself where I have a lot of time where I can do my own things, but I literally am on standby. I'm actually on standby right now. I am at work doing my job. I have one ear up listening to the show, and if they need me, then they have to come get me. So that is my job as a standby. It is one of the most rewarding, humbling experiences of my life because I want to be on stage every day, obviously, but with this job, I'm not. So it humbles me. And it really means a lot every time I get to go on stage. Every time I go on stage, it's opening night for me all over again. And it is such an amazing experience. I call my job, I'm kind of like a ninja in the night. If I do my job right, nobody should know that I'm there. Nobody should know. It should be like I'm a part of this every day. No one should know that that might be the first time that I've done it in 3 months or the first time I've done it ever. It should be like he's always been a part of the show. And I love that. I love it. And yeah, go Team Standby. I've always been a performer. My mom tells this story that there were certain movies that when it was on, I had to have props, I had to have costumes. It had to be complete and total silence because I had to recite the movie. So she always knew that I wanted to be a performer. She had no idea that it was going to be what it has become now. She thought maybe it was just her son playing make-believe, but no. I also sang in church, and when I was younger, and even now sometimes, I can be quiet and kind of reserved, and singing and performing was the one time in my life, or not so much anymore, but was the one time when I was younger where everybody had to stop and listen to me. And it was enticing and seductive and thrilling to sing in front of people and have people onto your every word, just waiting to see what you're gonna do next. And it was addictive. And I realized that that's what I wanted to do. And also, it started like that, but then I realized that's how I'm gonna make change in this world. I'm going to make change. I'm going to make someone's life better. I'm going to evoke change. I'm going to provoke. Yeah, that's why I want to be a performer. I try to make life better or hold up a mirror to somebody, to an audience, and reflect this, you know? Art is not only to entertain, but is to inform, it is to change, it is to provoke, and that's why I do what I do. I think what I enjoy most about performing is for a few hours, I get to leave Ellis at the stage door and I get to become somebody else. And I try to, as much as possible, completely transform myself. That's the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I think, the way I view the world. I try and leave Ellis at the door. I try to leave Ellis at the door, but at the core, I'm still me. And I try to step into the skin of this new character. And I think that's so incredible that I play make-believe for a living. Also, I do it for the audience. When I was in high school, I went to Performing Arts High School, Governor School for the Arts in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And there was this quote, and it was, and I say this all the time, the objective of a performer is to wash away the dust of your everyday life. I'm gonna say it again. The objective of a performer is to wash away the dust of your everyday life. And if I can, for 2 hours, make someone forget about their woes, make someone forget their struggles, make someone remember a happy time, make someone relive a painful time, and they grow from it, then I've done my job. I want to make someone feel something. And I think that is such an honor. I think a special group of people get to do that. I think in all art, we do it because of the human experience. we try and reflect life and show life in a very truthful manner, and that is what I love about performing. I consider myself an actor first, a storyteller more than anything. Even before an actor, I'm a storyteller, and I love telling stories. I love telling love stories. I love telling heart-wrenching stories. I love telling funny stories. I just want to tell stories, and I do that in a lot of ways. I think my most memorable experience and my greatest success that I've ever had was actually with Aladdin. As you know, I'm the standby, and it was shortly after we opened. So the cast rehearsed 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, for 4 weeks, with 2 weeks of tech, and I had to sit there and watch. I did not have rehearsal, and I probably had 2 rehearsals, not on stage, in a studio with the other standby, so not even by myself. And one day, it was actually Mother's Day, I was at a store. It was a 2-show day. It was a Sunday, and I got a call from my stage manager. We need a genie to be a genie. And my heart was pounding. It was like, dum, 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 dum. And he was like, can you do it? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. Oh my God, I can do it. And I hang up the phone. I was in line, checking out at the store. I threw my card and the shirt that I wanted to buy at the lady, and I was like, just do it quick. Get it quick. I need to go. I call my mom, and I call my best friend, and I call my other best friend. And I call them all and I say, I'm making my debut as Genie tonight. And they're like, did you have your put in? Like, have you had rehearsal? And I said, no, I've never done it on the stage. I've never done it with other people. I'm about to do this in front of a sold out audience of 2,000. So I rush to the theater, my dance captain, we do a quick brush up rehearsal in 30 minutes. We didn't even go through the whole show. We just hit spots that they thought I needed. I had one stage manager going over the script with me. I had another stage manager trying to calm me down. Even though I was very calm. I was very calm, cool, collected. That's what they remember. I was very calm, cool, collected. But on the inside, I was freaking out. And I believe in God. And I just prayed and I said, you know what, God, I've prepared for this. You have been prepping me for this moment my entire life. I showed up to the rehearsal space for the 4 weeks of rehearsal an hour early, almost every rehearsal, and I went over the show by myself, without any advice. No one told me to do that. I just decided, I'm going to get here early and do the show. I would be the first one in the rehearsal space, sometimes before the stage management even got there. And I would go over the entire show, so they knew I was ready, and I knew I was ready. That's why I was calm. And 30 minutes later, it was Places, and the curtain fell, and there I was. And then 2.5 hours later, I was making my bow and my debut as the Genie with no put-in rehearsal. I had never touched the stage. I had never done it in costume. I never had my costumes on outside of a fitting. I had never done it with other people. I had never done it with an orchestra. And I did it. And that will probably be the most exhilarating and the most memorable time I've ever had on stage. And people said you're going to black out. And I just prayed and I asked God if he could just send a calm over me and make me present so I can remember, and I can say I remember that night. And it was one of the most beautiful nights I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm so thankful that I can say I'm one of the standbys. I'm one of the standbys that went on with no rehearsal, that had to save the show with no rehearsal. And that is my biggest accomplishment as a performer. I think one of my biggest setbacks as a performer has been my age and the color of my skin. I know that's kind of provocative for me to say, but I'm gonna be real. The color of my skin has always been an issue. I love my skin. I love the skin I'm in. I think black is beautiful. I love it. However, I've been typecast. I have been sometimes only seen as the big black funny guy. and I have to work against that. I have to work against being, I am naturally funny and I am big and I am black. However, there's more to me. I have layers. There's so many characters. I believe as an actor, we have everything we ever need to play any character. And that has been my biggest setback. But at the same time, it has also been my biggest blessing. Some people think that your setback is just your setback. Sometimes it can be your blessing. And however, I can honestly say that people don't see me for my skin color. Even though I'm very new to this business, people see me as Ellis C. Dawson III, the actor, not Ellis C. Dawson III, the black actor. I've been called in and made it to some callbacks where I was the only black person in the room. I've been in callbacks where I was the youngest in the room. I am one of the youngest genies ever. And that's another thing is my age. I'm a big boy. And people want to place me as too old, and people are like, he's tall but he has a baby face. And Disney trusted me, which I'm so grateful for, and opened this door to let me play this role that some people might think I'm too young for. But that didn't stop me. I went in for it. I told my agent, I think I am perfect for this. And they were like, we think you're perfect for this. And the creative team thought I was perfect for it. So here I am. Yeah. This is gonna sound so cliche, but I think my personal goal in life is to live a happy and full life, a fulfilled life with lots of love. I know that's really cliche, but yeah. And I think my professional goal is to remain creative, to never question my creativity. I am an artist. I'm a creative. I do not limit myself to being an actor. I do not limit myself to being a singer. I write, I do photography. I have goals to have a show. I wrote a musical, and I hopefully one day I want to maybe have it on Broadway. It showcases young black men, and I feel like we are not represented the way we should be as leads in roles that aren't necessarily just a black role. I want to tell an American story with a black man. I think I do photography. I'm a photographer. I want my photography to be in fashion magazines. I want to be a top headshot photographer. I make videos. I want to make a web series. There's so many things I want to do. I want to be a producer. I think the key to success is remaining creative. I think the key to success is not limiting yourself. I think the key to success is going with your gut and believing in yourself, because sometimes no one else will. I've had some crazy ideas, and I tell people about them, and they're like, that doesn't sound, and I'm like, okay, and then it works. I say the key to success is saying yes to opportunities that you necessarily don't know where it's gonna go. I think it's that simple. I think lead a life with love and happiness and be kind, and good things will happen. So I went to Baldwin Wallace University for music theater, and before that I went to performing arts high school. I think education played a big part. I would not be here if it weren't for Governor School for the Arts and Baldwin Wallace University. Am I saying that you need to go to college to do music theater to be a performer? No, but I think it is a great place to be. I'm not saying don't go to college, and I'm not saying do go to college. Everyone's paths are different. But for me, education played a big role. Not only just the arts, but like I was just more knowledgeable about the world around me, and I became my own businessman, and I learned that through school. I think that it has made such a big difference to me and the performer I am. I've grown so much because also in school you grow as a human, and I think the only way to be a better actor and be a better performer is to live a life. I got my agent through school. I got job opportunities through school. People know who I am in New York through school, and I think it was such a great resource to me. Also, a resource that I truly believe in, and this probably sounds silly, is YouTube. YouTube is such a great resource. That's how I learned about music theater. I didn't know what music theater was until I Googled Broadway. I literally put Broadway into YouTube and I saw these videos. One of the first videos I saw was Kristen Chenoweth at, I want to say it was the 1998 or 1999 Tony Awards, singing My New Philosophy. And I was hooked after that. And then I started watching Obsessed with Seth Rudetsky and all these videos and Tony Awards. I think YouTube is such a valuable source. You learn about shows, you learn about your favorite performers, where they went to school, you get to see all these cool performances. Do not undervalue the internet. Use it to your advantage. That's why it was created. YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. I'm not saying you're to learn everything from YouTube, but YouTube is such a big asset. Use it. I Google my favorite performers like once a month. I see what new material they have out. I see the new shows, like the trailers for the new shows. I learned so much through the internet. Use YouTube. It's great. So, you know the saying, faith without work is dead? I think work without passion is also dead. You have to be passionate about what you do. I'm not going to say that this is easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And the only way you're going to be successful at nothing in life is easy. The only way you're going to be successful and good at something is if you're passionate about it. Passionate. And I think passion goes a long way. I think passion is that inner spark that keeps you going when life gets rough, when your dream job feels like work. There are days that, you know, Broadway and Broadway tours and, you know, the whole shebang feels like work. But if you keep that passion alive, and it's going to refuel you. I think it is so important to be passionate, and not only passionate, but like low-key obsessed with what you do. You have to be obsessive about it to be good at it. Everyone I know that is amazing at something is obsessive. I do photography. I just started about 2 months ago, and I am obsessed with it. I think about it every day. I work on it every day. Just like acting, singing, dancing, I think about it every day. I work on it every day. You have to be obsessive about it and passionate. And yeah, I think the wise man that said work without faith is dead, I think work without passion is dead. I think you can't go anywhere if you're not passionate about it. Then why do it? Yeah, why do it? It makes no sense to me to do something that you're not passionate about. And that is the only way you're going to keep going. Because everything is hard. Everything is hard, but rewarding and worth it and totally doable. But you got to be passionate. I think art is one of the most beautiful and important things in the entire world. I've seen not videos, memes, and these little posters that say you can't have Earth without art. And I truly believe that. I say be involved with something. Be involved, write, draw, take pictures, sing, dance, act. It really changes the world. It is so important. It has changed my life. I would not be here. My mom tells me this all the time, but being a 23-year-old black man and successful at what he does, I wouldn't be here without art. Who knows where I would end up if art wasn't a part of my life? It's like I already have a strike against me, you know the saying, you have a strike against you because of the color of your skin, but there are so many black men that don't get to make it to their 23rd birthday. And I just had my 23rd birthday, a little over a month ago, 5 days shy of a month ago, 5 days over a month ago, sorry. And I'm so blessed because art saved me. My life could have went a totally different direction. Get involved in something. Even if people say it's uncool, guess what? Those people aren't going to do anything for you. They're not going to write your checks. They're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to do anything for you. What matters today as a teenager will not matter in 10 years. If I would have listened to my peers, I would have probably been miserable doing a job I didn't want to do because I was afraid that doing theater was nerdy or, corny or whatever. But don't listen to it. If you have a passion in something, then do it. I remember there's this beautiful moment in Sister Act starring Whoopi Goldberg and Lauryn Hill, where Lauryn Hill is like, I want to be a singer or something, along those lines. And they're outside about to go on this field trip. And Whoopi Goldberg says to her, if when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about is singing, then you're meant to be a singer. And I'm telling you, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about is performing, you're meant to be a performer. If it's writing, you're meant to be a writer. If it's dancing, you're meant to be a dancer. If it's photography, you're meant to be a photographer. And also know you can do more than one thing. Again, I'm starting a photography business, and it has opened so many doors. I think people believe that if you don't put all your eggs in one basket, then it's not going to work. Know that there are so many avenues. I do not limit myself as, like I've said earlier, I do not limit myself as just an actor, just a singer, just a dancer. I am a creative. And I think I just figured this out when I was asked to do this video. I thought about it really long and hard. My purpose in life is to live a full life, to capture life, and to show life to the masses, be it through my writings, through me inhabiting a character, a human being, and fleshing them out and showing that person on stage, and trying to live an organic, authentic life like that, or to capture it in an image. I think that's what art is about, capturing life. So if you're an artist, see yourself as a person who wants to capture life. Be inspired by life. Live a full, joyous, heartbreaking, beautiful, painful, silly, amazing, wonderful life. That's what I have to say. Bye.
He had no windows and no doors. The simple life was extremely poor. On top of all of that, he had no eyesight, but that didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, what's it like in the USA?